Did it suck?
It didn't suck, but it wasn't great.
You didn't like it very much?
No.
Yeah, it's so mediocre. Pixar never makes a bad film, but I didn't think it was especially good either.
Why was it mediocre?
Because it wasn't good.
What do you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was very original, actually. Especially compared to a lot of the movies that are being made. It's kind of amazing that you can make an animation that has just... I guess I'm impressed by any original storyline, any story that someone hasn't stolen or otherwise borrowed or, you know, sort of
gotten from a comic book
together from, yeah,
or a movie made 20 years ago.
Exactly.
I thought it didn't have the magic. I don't know. It's hard to tell with Pixar because there's Pixar's that I recognize as really good, like Finding Nemo, but I'm not going to go buy that one. I mean, I would buy it if it was in the bargain bin. It's a really great movie. It didn't spark, like Monsters Inc. is astounding to me. Incredibles is astounding to me. The Toy Stories I adore, but I recognize that Finding Nemo is still really well made. This is how I felt about this one. This is probably their most solid movie that they've made. It was a really solid screenplay. I love the idea that they didn't depend on gimmick. They didn't bring in the scene where the cat, the evil cat that the chef has, you know, has to go after the rat, and then they befriend the cat because, you know, rats and cats are enemies, right? Like, they didn't depend on a lot of normal cartoon gimmicks. I loved that.
The storyline drug in a lot of parts. I mean, you can only pull the same stunt. It's unusual to see a rat being able to cook, but to make that be the underline for the whole entire film was a little low.
I thought the story was simple, but I didn't think that it was bad. I just thought it was straightforward. It was more like, I guess it was more like the old Disney, I thought.
Yeah.
Like the, you know, it wasn't earth-shattering, and it didn't pretend to be a grown-up movie.
It's actually a very strong story. It's just like just simple. It's not really
parts that were
flashy.
predictable. You know, the sort of twist at the end was a little bit predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final twist was less so.
Yeah.
You know, because it had sort of a semi-happy ending.
It made me care about food so much. Like, you really cared about it. Like, it was just, oh, and the gimmick of getting across the idea of flavor through color and music.
That was really good.
Brilliant.
That was really good. I give that to them. They did a great job with that part.
Yeah.
That was a really good idea.
The animation was great. I would say it's definitely much better still than like the other recent rat movie, Flushed Away, but it still wasn't like, probably, it wasn't as blowing, it wasn't as unique or original as like Monsters Incorporated or Toy Story. You know, there wasn't as many interesting, you know, lines or gimmicks or ideas. It was just kind of your film.
I would agree with you. It's very normal. And then normally that's just a really bad thing, but they just did normal so well. The characters, like the kid, he was kind of a bumbling idiot, but not to the point of just absolute ridiculousness. They had a few things, but he was just very normal. The voices were they didn't stand out as cartoony, crazy voices. They had Janine Garofalo, they had Patton Oswalt, who's a comedian. Yeah, it was just, but you wouldn't know, you don't think about it. Like, the voices aren't just these huge caricature voices. They're characters, they're not caricatures.
It's a well-done film. It's done better than any other animated movie thus far. I mean, but still, you know, if you're looking for, you know, magic or awe-inspiring film, this is not going to be your choice.
I had moments where I was...
Be a great artistic film.
I was really... I felt like I didn't connect with it just because I'm more into, like, the one that they're doing, WALL-E, with the science fiction. I'm more into the fantastic when it comes to films and stuff. So I just equated it to that. But there were, you know, as somebody who wants to be an artist and works to be an artist, and the themes that they had in this, there were times where I was completely moved. You know, so yeah, I mean, maybe I'm like trying to argue against myself. I didn't come out like clicking my heels like I've done for, you know, again, Monsters Inc. and other ones that they've done. Yeah. But I mean, you know, I'd go see this one again.